Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to let the meeting room hopefully get a little bit more full here for anyone who was unable to join our live session today. We are recording this and we will get it sent out at the end of the webinar. So I hope that anyone who was not able to join live can definitely take the time to review this session. Now, there's going to be a few things that I offer in today's session that some of our current clients aren't taking advantage of with Performance Tracker. I do want to preface this with this is not a sales pitch at all. That is not at all the intent of Performance Tracker, Tea Time with Taylor, and everything that I'm offering is included with either a current Performance Tracker X engagement or just something that we are offering as a kind of holiday exclusive with our business consulting team as we approach the end of the year. So today we're going to review how you can finish this year strong and really make the most of the data now that you have a full year's worth, hopefully year over year, for our clients that have been on the system for a while, and really make some impactful comparisons with your data. So we're going to dive into first looking at your users and auditing that process, making sure that everything in Performance Tracker is up to date and that there's no email alerts going out to users that are no longer on the system, or maybe you guys have had some turnover and need to add some new users to the system. So I'll go over that piece of it. Then we will take a look at contract data auditing. Now, the contract data auditing can be done on your own, and it can also be done with me or our consulting team, depending on how deep you want to go and do an audit, just making sure that everything is trued up for the end of the year. I will kind of walk you guys through how to not perform reviews, because most of the leaders who engage in these calls are experienced leaders. They know how to manage their teams, but it's more so how you can utilize your dashboards for help in those performance reviews. Not enough users are really taking advantage of that arranger role that we have. Logging in to that dashboard is essentially all of the material you need to conduct a performance review with your team members. So we'll dive into that a little bit. Then, like I said, I will mention a special offer that we have available for a business consulting service. It is complimentary. Again, this is not a sales pitch, so no one needs to worry about that. But I will ask that anyone interested in that reach out to me directly once I go over it, just so I can make sure that I am connecting you to the right member of our business consulting team to get you the analysis that we're proposing over here. So let's go ahead and take a deep or a dive into things. Now, the original piece of me wanting to create finish the year with an audit philosophy came with users first. So we want to make sure that we have all current users in the system. Any people that should be removed, we want to make sure that they are deactivated or removed from the system entirely. And you can manage alerts as well. Now, I've listed out here in the margin the different abilities that are available in our global account management area within our new single sign-on that we launched in February of this year to all Performance Tracker users. So if you're an executive level user, that means you have that company level access. You're really able to do everything that is possible within this global account management area. You can manage your own profile and then add, remove, or edit locations, users, and alerts throughout the entire company. Now, if you're a location manager, then you can essentially do the same thing amongst your own team. So within your location or locations, if you have multiple, you can still edit, add or remove some users and alerts, and manage your own profile. So you really don't even need to be a full-blown company executive in order to go in and do a user audit. You can do it at the location manager level. If you're an individual arranger, there's no harm in going in and making sure that your profile is set the way you want it to. All of your alerts are going to the correct email address, and that your alert preferences are set. Now, if you do want to change your alert preferences, you can, you have a couple of different options. You can reach out to either a location manager or an executive user amongst your company, or you can email support@j3techsolutions.com, and our support team can get those alert preferences updated for you. So you can see what your current alerts are at, but you cannot change them. So I do just want to make sure that everyone knows how to get logged into the single sign-on area to access that global account management screen. So if you bear with me one moment, I'm going to get that pulled up on my end. If my system will let me log into the SSO. Let's see. For some reason, the site is not loading. Apologies. I'm going to go ahead and log in through just our normal Medallia screen, just so I can direct you guys where to find that global account management tab. So if you're an executive, this looks very familiar to you. You'll see all of the tabs here at the top. If you select the drop-down arrow, then you'll be able to go into support. Oops, no, I'm so sorry. Let me get into an executive role. So all of the tabs at the top should look very familiar to any executive users on the call here. If you go into My Account Details, this is where you can click into the global account management area. It will bring you directly to that screen that I was just sharing of, the company users, locations list. That way you can make any edits. Now you do have this My Account Details tab if you are either a location manager or an arranger user as well. You may or may not need to select the little drop down caret. It just depends on your size of window, honestly, for where these tabs can fit. But you have access to all of this same information just within your own user role. So just make sure that once you get logged into your account, you go through the My Global Account Details area. Or I do want to point out too, I'm more than happy to perform a user audit manually on my end too. Now, this is an option that before we had access to this global account management screen for all of our clients, we would perform these manual user audits. I still do them for some of my larger organizations that, it takes a big load off of their plates to be able to go in and for me to do this and just give them a spreadsheet. And then they're like, okay, we're good to go. So if you would like a version of your current alerts, locations, and users within Performance Tracker, whether you're at the company level or location manager level, let me know. I can absolutely get that for you. And you will see something very similar to this in terms of company name is available, location access level. So either one or multiple locations, whatever that user has access to. First name, last name, email address, then the active or inactive status. So there may or may not be some people that need to go inactive if you've had some turnover at your location. Their user role level, and then the alerts that they have. So all of the different type of alerts. You can see there are multiple detractor. That's because we have overdue and escalated for both detractor and lead generation alerts. Then we have a perfect score, which is either 9 or 10, and then passive, which is that 7 or 8 on the scale. So if you want anyone to be receiving alerts that they're not getting, just let me know, and we can get you a sheet like this if you are not comfortable doing it within the global account management area. So now we're going to dive into contract data audit. It can be a little bit more complicated depending on how granular you want to get with your audit. I would say at a high level, you should at least be doing this, once a quarter, going in and making sure that the case count is accurate. I would say that's really like the bare minimum that you should do in terms of auditing your contract data. Now, if you submit data to us manually, there really shouldn't be too many surprises, right? Because there is a person who's sending us an Excel sheet of your cases, and all of the ones that they want to be included are being included. However, if you are connected with one of our point of sale systems, and we pull your data for you, so if you're on like SRS, Thesari, Smart Director, any of the point of sale systems that we partner with, then we are automatically pulling in your data. And there might be some blind spots. Maybe there's a case that was not marked to be imported or not completed in time, and you wanted it in the system. If your case counts are off at all, then we can definitely take a look at the data, do a deeper dive, and see what case might be missing. Within the advanced contract analysis reporting, this report is available for you. So it's called the Sales Performance Snapshot. I like this one because it gives you kind of that bird's eye view of everything. So you can take a look at your dollar amounts, your budget, if it has been entered into Performance Tracker X, or the case counts themselves, and that's broken down by month, and you can pull it for the entire year or see it at the quarterly level as well. So it just kind of gives you all of the information in one spot. I will say that there is also a complete export of contract data available. It's called the sales data export within the advanced contract reporting area, and you can see just a full breakdown of every single case. So if you have never done this in the past and want to schedule a call with me so we can walk through how to do this at your individual either location or company level, let me know. I'm more than happy to jump on the call with you and do it over Teams, and we can walk through it together. I will say that during the holiday season, I know a lot of people are busy. A lot of businesses kind of put things off until the beginning of the year. That's a perfect time for you to take a little bit of extra time to go over your data analysis and reach out to me to schedule a meeting, because I've got a lot of space availability for the end of the year as well. So just reach out. Now, performance reviews. For this section, I am going to go ahead and log into the dashboard again as an Arranger user this time, just so I can walk through areas that I like to use in a performance review, and that I recommend a lot of times to my location managers. But what I will say is that this area of breaking down the original or the individual arranger driver scores, this is going to be really impactful for an individual funeral director or cemetery service representative, whoever that initial arranger is on the case. They have these scores, and you can break it down at the yearly level, like what's showing here. So let me go ahead and go out to my dashboard again. And this time I am going to go ahead and switch over to an Arranger user. Now, the Arranger user level that you guys will be seeing, I am going to filter it to show Jake's funeral home data here in Arizona. So Jake Johnson, our owner. That way, you're not seeing any sensitive information that we're not supposed to be sharing from our clients, and everything is kept secure. We do have Jake's full permission to share Minky's data. So that's what I'm going to pull up here. I'm going to go ahead and include their pre-need data as well. We're going to run this. Now, if I run this at this level, it'll show me all arrangers. I do want to see one individual arranger, so I'm going to use Amy as an example, just because she has a good fluctuation of data. She's a unique arranger where she has a larger caseload, which is great for us to look at her data in, but she also has, really positive scores, some passive, and some detractors. So she has a good data mix, and I wanted to use that for today's example, because it'll allow us to do some analysis on her performance. So our recent feedback feed, every single user has this module available to them. It's available in one form or another. So at the arranger role, it is here at the very top. This just gives them a snapshot of all the recent surveys that have come back. You can see for Amy, because of her case count, it does go back to the beginning of this year. So that's a really nice chunk of cases, and you can see it at a glance what the fluctuation in those likelihood to recommend scores was, because that's what determines this smiley face here. So she does have a couple of negatives in June. So we should see some fluctuation throughout the year as we go down and look at some of those charts. Her individual net promoter score, her individual overall satisfaction and perceived value scores, those are on the 5-point scales. Then her individual response rate as a user, great response rate, by the way, for an arranger. I always like to say 40% and above, you're going to be in the green on this dial. So I always like to say that that's, really a good performer for response rate. That means she's probably mentioning the survey to families, which is awesome. That's a really great way to increase your response rates over time. But then she's also most likely entering in a good amount of emails and mobile numbers in their raw data. So as long as we're receiving contact information, families are going to receive the survey, right? So within this response rate, there is a lot of power in the arranger's hands of making it go up over time. Now, in order to qualify for the awards at the end of the year at the location level, a location needs to hit at least 30%. So Amy is definitely contributing to hitting that 30% for her team, and she's in a good spot. Now, scrolling below that, you can see here, it does break it down by segment, but I'm going to focus right here on the funeral home overall performance score at the location level versus her individual one. It's pretty unique because she is beating the average overall response rate, or I'm sorry, overall performance score at her funeral home. But then looking into her individual scores, so that section of the survey that relates back to the arranger, to the funeral director themselves. What are the different questions we ask? Well, you can see here they're rated on empathy, attention to detail, so on and so forth. And you can see there was a good amount of consistency and then a little bit of a drop in the middle of the year. So Amy did have those two detractor scores in June, and that's what brought these scores down. But you can see it did fluctuate back up. But for this line of payment policy explanation, you can see that Amy's really good with that. She's pretty professional as well. She's got a perfect 5.0 across the board on her professionalism. Some areas where she needs to improve: timely delivery of products, services, maybe communication, timeliness needs to improve over time, and then also explanation of services. So this is something that funeral directors can get kind of complacent in explaining services. You have to treat every single case the way you would if someone has never lost a loved one before. I experienced this last year with a first time major loss in our family, where I was helping my aunt plan the funeral. And I knew pricing statistics because of what my job is and because I have access to industry data, but the average Joe family is not going to necessarily know what to pay for a funeral service, and they're going to want an explanation. I did present some ways to kind of communicate that to families in my last webinar that I did with Lacey Robinson. So if anyone watched that, thank you for tuning in. But also, you'll hear me repeat myself here a little bit. Presenting a good, better, best option is a really nice way to communicate to families and not make them feel like you're trying to push or sell them on anything. I know that funeral directors, their first priority is being empathetic and being there for their families and just really providing what their families need. But sometimes that empathy can get lost in the logistics of actually, performing a service and explaining things through. So those are things that I would take the time to talk with Amy about. I would, sit down and coach her. Like I said, there's a lot of leaders on this call who know how to manage teams, have much more wide range of funeral service than I have as an individual, and they're better equipped to handle performance reviews. But use the data to help you guide those conversations. That is what I'm here to help you do. It's not a matter of your manager's opinion of you. It's a matter of what the families are saying about you. It's in the data itself. So use that as a leader when you're coaching individuals. It is always good to take the time to review operational scores as well amongst funeral arrangers, because their individual scores, super important for them, right? But what also is important for them is seeing how the rest of the experience is being rated by families. If the facilities are tired, are not up to what the family was expecting, maybe they don't look as nice as they look on the website, then those ratings usually are reflected in the survey scores. So you can see October, there was a really low one. I don't know what dropped down here, vehicle appearance. So there was something, that the family did not like about the vehicle appearance. If I were to guess, I would say this probably showed up on 1 or 2 survey responses, just depending on Amy's response volume. But it is nice for her as an individual arranger to be able to see that, because it's like, she might have provided excellent grade A service, but then the family was upset with something on site. So showing them that this is available to them is really nice as well. I am going to encourage everyone on this call, whether you're a location manager or an executive, to go ahead and add your arranger users to your dashboards. That's something I can help you with. It's something you can do in your global account management screen that we were just in. There's really no downside to it. We do not charge for individual users or anything. It's not going to cost you a thing. It's just going to give everyone more visibility around their survey results. And as you can see here, I'm filtered as Amy. So if I were in her account, she would only be able to see her own scores. I can't see anyone else's scores. I can see some company rolled up results, which is really nice as an individual to see, because you can kind of compare and contrast yourself. So if I clear out Amy here and I'm just filtered to the location, you can see there is a bit of fluctuation. Response rate is still on par. So it looks like Amy is right at where the average is for the funeral home, which is cool. She was only like 0.10% off. Then as she scrolls down, she can see the Net Promoter Score. Again, this is at the company level or location level, depending on the size of your organization. Overall performance score, same thing. It's on that 1,000-point scale this time, so you can see that fluctuation throughout the year. So it wasn't just her score that dipped in June. It looks like overall, the funeral home location, maybe those 2 negatives were like the only feedback they received in June or something, because it dropped overall in June. And then taking a look at your alert summary chart, that's always nice to have eyes on for funeral arrangers. They can make sure their location managers are following up their families. If there are any negative responses in here, they can make sure that everything is closed out and accounted for. So you can see there's a lot of escalated alerts in here. They have not been closed out or addressed. If I were, if I were this arranger, I would want to go in and talk to my location manager and make sure that those get closed out before year's end. That way you're closing the year out on a strong front. So I'm going to go ahead and flip back over to my dashboard again, or I'm sorry, my slide deck. Man, I'm just saying all the wrong things today. I apologize. The importance of benchmarking. Now, this might seem a little out of pocket in terms of performance reviews for an individual. It is not out of pocket for a performance review of a location. If you're an executive, you should definitely be doing a performance review of your individual locations too, not just at the individual staff member level. And a great way to measure how you're performing is by using the benchmarking that's available in Performance Tracker X. So these are just some benefits of benchmarking. But what I really want to point out is that this is available in your dashboards. This is one of my favorite reports that we have available. It is located under your survey performance tab and then the results sub tab. And you essentially get this scorecard of your location. If you use the location benchmarking filter, then you can see your individual location compared to the average of what's in Performance Tracker right now. Now, something I want to point out, the benchmark is the average. You don't want to be average, right? You want to be better than average. You want to always be above that marker. If you want to be one of the top performing locations, a really great way to determine that is if you are one of our winners of the Excellence in Customer Service Awards. Well, we cut it off at the end of every year, but we provide awards at the end of Q1, and that's when that announcement is made publicly. But we honor the top 15 performing locations in each of our 3 call volume classification categories. So we honor one like a call volume size of 150 and below, 151 to 300, and then 301 and above. So that's the 3 different sizing availabilities we have. Again, this is at the location level, not the company level. And we provide a physical award. We present you with it, and we send that over to you. We also do presentations at the, let's say at your company level, you have multiple locations that have won this award. I usually like to gather with the staff and honor those teams. Last year I actually interviewed a few of our award winners, and they were published in our Trends and Insights report that is released annually every year. And that's an industry-wide report, not just for Performance Tracker users. So there's a lot of recognition, marketing opportunities, and frankly, bragging rights that come with this award. So definitely you want to be one of these winners at the end of the year. How you can make sure that you get there, obviously having a high TVI or total value index, that's going to be the primary score that we use. We use overall performance score, net promoter score, and your perceived value in order to calculate that total value index. So with that calculation, I will say in the last couple of years, like the 940 area is the lowest of the 15 usually. So as long as you're above that 940, I like to say that you're in a good spot. There are a couple of other factors that determine winners, the number of responses that have been received, making sure that your team is not skewing results. So making sure your do not send survey percentage is fair and not over a certain amount. So if you want to know, kind of a little preview where you're standing, what some of your scores are, how you're performing against the industry before these awards are released, let me know. I'm happy to get you a little preview, and we can show you where you're at and kind of analyze your locations from there, so you can see what your likelihood is of getting one of these awards. But really great opportunity in that. Now, I do want to kind of close this out. I know I spoke a little bit long on my other slides, but closing out our presentation today with an offer from our business consulting team. So anyone who is a current Performance Tracker X client or who joins this year, you could take advantage of this opportunity next year to do a full annual analysis of your data. I do want to offer this to you. It's really a way for you to make the most of your data from Performance Tracker and make it as actionable as possible. Now, I certainly help our Performance Tracker X clients that we have now, and I'm really comfortable in analyzing customer service data in general as a CX professional, but taking it from that funeral perspective and really going to the subject matter experts within the profession. Our business consulting team, there's like a million years experience. It's not that high, but I think it's like over 1,000 years experience with all of them combined. So definitely connecting with the right people to guide you in your business. They run funeral homes, they've worked in funeral homes, they know the best things for your business. They're going to be the ones to analyze your data. They can help you determine a budget for 2026, and we can actually enter that into Performance Tracker, and you can compare your budget to your actuals throughout the entire year next year. They can take what you guys did in 2025 and analyze that in terms of like an incentive compensation plan. They can help you devise one of those plans and see what you would have paid out in bonuses had you been doing it this past year, and they can help you set that up for next year. So it really having that historical data of a full year's worth of data gives our business consulting team a lot of I guess just a lot of history, a lot of good ammo to go into a conversation with you with. So that is really excuse me one moment. I'm so sorry. um, I work from home and I have a dog, so I apologize about that. So closing out this session today, I do just want to throw this last piece at you. If you are interested in this business consulting analysis, please reach out to me individually. You can also contact anyone else on our team, or whoever you're comfortable talking to here at Johnson Consulting Group. We will get you in touch with a business consultant. If you're a current Performance Tracker X client, then I will join that call and we will do a analysis together, and I'll be there to kind of hold your hand through it, ask the right questions, and just act as your account representative. But I hope you guys take advantage of this opportunity. Normally it's not complimentary usually to work with our business consulting team. So this is a pretty unique and enticing offer for you guys. So just some other things that our business consulting team offers: leadership and management courses, CX workshops, business assessments, and then incentive compensation plans. They do on-site class developments with that leadership and management course. So fly out to Scottsdale, see me, see our leadership and management team, and work with a class and really, network with others within the profession to become the best leader that you can, and hone in on those skills. Just a reminder for everyone who is a current Performance Tracker X user, the webinar archive is now available in your dashboard. So going under your support tab in your dashboard, you'll be able to see under the resources tab all of these previous tea time presentations that we've done. We will be adding in the webinar that I just did with Lacey as well. I joined her in her environment, but we answered a lot of pressing Performance Tracker X client questions, especially when it comes to that annual trends and insights report that we do. So I am going to go ahead and let you guys go today. I apologize, we ran a couple of minutes over, but I just wanted to make sure we got all of that information in there. This slide deck will be sent out to everyone along with the recorded presentation. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me and my team. We can assist you at support@j3techsolutions.com. I also shared with you my individual email address if you would like to contact me directly regarding that business consulting assessment for any Performance Tracker X, either current users or anyone who's interested in coming onto the platform. So I hope to hear from you guys soon. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving for everyone here who is in the US. And for those not in the US, I hope you're having a great winter season and surviving the cold. I hope you guys have a great night and enjoy your holiday. Thank you so much.